So while I was going through my box of old games, there was one that caught my eye. Evolve. Well, actually it's supposed to be XCOM, the Bureau, but that game does not allow me to record, goddamn. So, Evolve. I remember this game being huge when it first came out, but then proceeded to die just as quickly. So, what was Evolve? I don't need to say much about the core components of the game, as the first trailer and the opening tell you all you need to know. For example, the 4 hunter classes. You had your assault, you had your support, you had your trapper, you had your healer, but most of all, you had the monster. This trailer was awesome, but if we graded the game based on its trailer, that would be a terrible mistake. The game stuck to one simple idea: 4 hunters, 1 monster. Hunters have to work together to track the monster and try to kill it before it evolves, whereas the monster must avoid the hunters and progressively get stronger via evolving until it gets to that point where you can go toe to toe with the hunters. That was all I needed to know for me to be on board. So let's get to talking about the hunters. So as I've already said, there are 4 classes. Let's go through them. Your assault was your damage dealer, able to give himself a personal shield, and it was meant to be enough of a threat where the monster would prioritize him. You had the support, which would aid in tracking, helping other hunters, and damaging monsters. Even had a cloaking module for the team. You had the trapper, oriented with the idea of trapping the monster and lowering its ability to move, and to, well, track the monster, of course. These hunters all worked as a beautiful synchronicity that is always prevalent, always protecting each other. This is even verified by the hundreds of interactions that they have when entering a level.
Slam! I don't know why everybody... Listen, man, that bounty? It's a hub bounty. Do you get it?
Still 10 million keys.
Yeah. Do you know why the bounty's so high?
Hadn't really given it a thought, to tell you the truth.
Because all those guys are hiding out here. Out here where everyone hates hub. We're all rooting for the insect men. Anyway, what'd I do with 10 million keys? Buy a ship and wreck it. I don't need those problems.
Now here is one crazy part I did not point out yet. There are 7 variations of each class. While they all have the same class ability, usually the weapon and the sub-ability are different. Like Bucket has sentry guns, where Cabot has a damage amplifier and dust cloud tagging. This creates a shit ton of combos for characters and teams, but let's get to the monster. The monster, there is a total of 8 variations for them, all oriented around different playstyles. For example, Goliath is pure strength, Kraken can fly, Wraith is stealth. When the monster is selected, it gets 3 points to decide what abilities it wants, or to upgrade those same abilities. Then after that, it has the ability to get 6 more points, 3 every evolution. The way it evolves is by consuming meat from the ecosystem's animals. Bigger the animal, the more dangerous, but also the more meat. So what's the dynamic between the monsters and the hunters? The way I see it is that if the monster is at stage 1, it is less than the hunters. Stage 2, it's about even with the hunters, then stage 3 is where it's above the hunters. The only real way the hunters can keep up is by damaging the monster's health, which is permanent, which each stage gives increased health and armor. Evolve started out with one game mode, which was Hunt. Hunters had to track and kill the monster before it hit stage 3. If that monster gets to stage 3, a fight would be forced between the 2 sides by making an objective that hunters must protect, or the monster will win by destroying. Evolve also had 2 side modes, Rescue and Nest, but there was one mode I mainly played, Evacuation. Evac was the first real last update it had. It was a 5 mission mode. You had 4 missions that would rotate between Hunt, Rescue, and Nest. But if one side would win, they would gain a bonus for the next round. Like in Aviary Dome, if the hunters win, more birds would spawn in, making the monster need to be careful to not scare the birds. But if the monster wins, carnivorous birds are released to attack the hunters. But there was a crap ton of these maps having all sorts of rewards and punishments. There was even an ending cutscene based on which sides won. But if you've heard about Evolve, then you most likely already know what has happened to it. I won't go into the heavy details of it, but all you need to know is that the game went into a terrible state of lack of updates and odd design choices. And to top that off, I learned something yesterday that Evolve would officially be unplayable July 6th of this year. It seems weird to look at this game again, but I had a hell of a time playing this game, and maybe if it was made by a different game company, maybe, just maybe, it could have been so much more. So as of these news, goodbye Evolve. You were fun while you lasted.
What is that melody?
Hey, bro, watch your jet. Watch your jet, bro. Watch your jet!
Oh.